Hi, and welcome to the fifth episode of Inside Angie. Today we're going to talk about Here for My Habits and Venus in Furs. Cheers. I guess Here for My Habits matched the other songs because I really wanted to tell like a story of my life, because the title of the album is also called Suicidal since 1995, and I feel like every track has its own story, but it's still like about an era of my life, kind of. And it's about me being a teenager who feels quite shitty about herself. And everything just has like it's like if you should do a music video for the whole thing in like a short movie, like a short film, it would really fit together. And I guess that's how I thought the album would turn out. But honestly, in the beginning when I did all these songs, I didn't think of it as an album. I just did like a lot of different songs. And then I sat down going through all of the songs and picking the ones that fit with each other. So that's kind of a coincidence, but still I wrote these songs when I was feeling like that. So it's not that weird that it all came together like that. Every song is about a sad girl doing drugs and being in love with different people, or longing for better times, or not wanting to feel like shit. Dope is more of a goofy, like in your face track. I think Here for My Habits is more beautiful and more like, it's like, that's dark in a not fun way, I think. Because I think the song itself is like, it's kind of tragic, but it's still beautiful. Like, it's just me, that I don't want to have any other things than drugs from this guy who's selling the shit I want. But I still like, I think I was able to pull it off and still make it beautiful, even though it's about that type of subject. Here for My Habits is about me wanting to buy weed or like ecstasy or whatever from one of my, like, I had a couple of dealers in my life, and mostly all of the dealers I've been buying my stuff from has had some kind of vibe that they want more from me than just my money. Like, you're kind of hitting on them, but you're not. You just like maybe want it cheaper. I don't know. I'm only here for my habits. That's actually the title from the beginning, Only Here for My Habits, but we made it shorter to fit the album. I created Here for My Habits like really fast, but it was hard to like make it work in the structure. I created it like maybe almost like a half a year after Dope, I guess. And I was sitting in the studio in House of Wizard, where my manager used to have his office, and the one who made the track, called Mats. We were just in the like studio basement, and like I remember we worked like this. He sent me the beat on my phone, and I had it on my phone, and I was just like out in the sun outside of the studio writing the song by myself while he was working on the instrumental. So we were not even working together, but we were still in the same place. So I was just like sitting on the stairs outside the studio, chain smoking as always, and I just came up with the lyrics, and I was really happy with it. And then I just went down and just like, this is what we have to record now. And he liked it, and it turned out great, but the instrumental wasn't done until like such a long time after. in the beginning when we made the beat, we had like this dripping sound in the beginning. It's like plop, or like drip, drop. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like a big, like something like a really big raindrop is falling down in the water. And it was just like a cool sound. I love that sound. But when we reproduced it, Kanto took that away, and I kind of forgot about the whole thing. But when I listened to it when it was done, it was like, oh no, it's not there anymore, and that made me really sad. But it's a fire song still, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, if I could change it, I would keep the drip sound. I think it was like a year and a half or a year. I'm not really sure because I have no like idea of how time works. But until like we really finished it, so it was just in my Dropbox for such a long time until we like chose Kanto to do the album, and then we started working on it again. So maybe it took like 2 years or at least 1.5 years to like finish the whole song from when I started writing on it. But I think it was him who like changed it up a little bit and made it like slide, 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 you know. And I think like he's really good at, yeah, as I said, making a sound feel really fat, and that's like he really pulled that off with Here For My Habits when it comes to the big sound of it, because it really feels big when you listen to it. And I'm always like a pro when you chop up like pieces of the beat and the voice and make it feel like always like really confident in having Here For My Habits on the album. Like I've been in love with that song for such a long time. I've even listened to it by myself from my Dropbox, like most, I think, because I think that's really good. And I'm vibing with that song as it's like it's not my song. Because you can listen to your own songs and like, this is a good song. But when I listen to Here For My Habits, it doesn't like feel like my song. It just feels like a good song. It's hard to explain, but that's the one like I'm vibing with it, because it's like someone else could have done it and I would love it as much. But yeah, the process is always hard making an album, and the process is always hard changing a song too, because I'm such a I'm a demo lover. I don't know how to explain it, but I fall in love with the demo so hard that I don't want to change anything with the song. And you have to change parts with the songs to make it better. But when I hear it the first time, it's like, this is perfect. We don't have to change anything. But you always have to change stuff. So it's just hard for me to make songs. And then the producer tells me like, yeah, but we have to change this and you have to re-sing this. And I was like, no, I really love this sound. So it's hard for me to work on songs that I already love and changing it, because then it's like, it's not as good anymore, but it's better. Everyone is like asking me what slide really means. And for me, this like, it's a really weird thing, because at the moment I had like a lot of anxiety, and I remember feeling really, really bad. And my manager once told me that when I get like really stressed and when I get like super, it's really cheesy, but I like it. When I get really anxious and feel stressed, he said that I should picture myself as a penguin sliding down an ice cave. And that's what I like wrote the song about, I guess. I'm here for my habits, I just want to slide. And that's the song. The hook is about my manager telling me to picture myself as a penguin. That's weird, but yeah, it's about that. And also me wanting to buy drugs to slide. But I think it's cheesy, but it's still a cute story. Yeah. And then you picture yourself as a penguin sliding down in an ice cave. It's a great video. I don't like purple. I don't like the color purple that much. I like pastel purple, but I don't like purple. Like, it's not one of my favorite colors. But it felt like it needed purple. And it feels kind of purpley when I hear it. And I always vibe to it more when I have violet like lights when I perform it live. I don't know, it just feels complete. But back to the video. The idea of the video from the beginning was like I wanted it to feel a bit rock. And then Sandra, the makeup artist, talked to this girl who made this like really cool dress that is made out of tires, like car tires. And that's a really cool dress, and we used that, and it was like we were thinking about a vibe between Matrix, like the Matrix, and Marie Antoinette. So it's a weird vibe, but it still works, like a rock version of Marie Antoinette, but still modern in Adidas, and still like weird lights, and yeah. And I think the only thing that I actually came up with for this music video was the scene with the Adidas tracksuit and the Marie Antoinette hairstyle and the cat and the swimming pool scene. Then mostly of the other stuff is Chris's ideas. And I really like the scenes in the swimming pool. I don't know why I have this thing in, like, I want to be in water. That's the best scenes. I want to be in water. I'm gonna record a video when I'm swimming in a lake too, this summer, I think. Yeah. Venus in Furs were like, why we chose Venus in Furs is because I love Lou Reed. I love Velvet Underground. It's like one of my biggest role models. I know you shouldn't have a heroin addict as a role model, but I do. I just love the sound of Velvet Underground. I've always listened to Velvet Underground since I was a kid, so I just wanted to do like this really hazy video to it when I'm just like... And I've always wanted to do like a one-take thing. And because I guess I didn't want to have any other songs because we didn't have the budget to make them. And if I was supposed to do a mashup, we couldn't have like this like big budget to make it like really produced. And I didn't want to waste any of my songs on something that I couldn't picture in my mind, I think. Like if I would do like a mashup with the Boss, that wouldn't work because I expect so much out of that video. So I couldn't like just be happy with a one take for Boss. That's why we chose Venus in Furs, and I have to say I do a really great job. I really like my cover of that song, so it was really fun doing the one take scene as well. It was like we had permission to use this like abandoned cabin like really far out in Malmö where we recorded it, and Habib, Vanessa and Stanky came with me and Pussel to the shoot, and I think we only did the one take 6 times. 6 times I think. And it was like, it's a double speed, so you have to like run, but it looks, because we shoot the whole thing in slow motion, so you have to like have it in double speed. So it's like shiny, 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 like you have to mime to the song really fast, but it's really hard. And I was like walking around in this like tank top and the skirt and like really weird high heels that I could barely walk in, but yeah, I nailed it. It looks amazing. I love that video, and it was just like such a cool environment to record a video in. I like the like hardcore feeling of both the 2 videos. they match each other. I think it's a good fit to put them together. When I think about Here for My Habits, I think about mostly how much drugs I used to do and how important it was for me to just sing about drugs all the time. Because that was like, when I first started this, everything was just about drugs all the time. That was like my image, my personality was stuck in, I'm just some kind of stoner girl, I guess. And I'm happy that I grew up from that. I think I have like a bunch of good memories just performing it because it's easy to perform. And it's really nice to just like, it's like a Spun vibe. You feel the drop and you're just like there for it.